My sole issue is protecting as many people as I can. That's what I want to do. I know, or it may come at an inconvenience to you, but I like to follow the wishes of the complaining witnesses because I don't want them to live in fear. There's nothing worse than having to live in fear, having to walk on eggshells, and that's what we try to prevent here. And I know that you have your side of the story, and there's always two sides of the story, but the best recipe that I usually find is keeping people away from themselves. The problem is that may be a disadvantage of you because you may have nowhere else to go. But what other choice do I have? I don't know, right? Tell me, you were able to speak to her.
Yes, Your Honor, and I'll relay the message she gave me. So just a little bit of context, the defendant is her father, is what she says. And she says she's had no contact with him since the incident. But she does say she's been getting updates from family about the defendant that she's not asking for. She said that she's getting married and planning on starting a family, and her heart's desire is to have her father in her life, but she said that he's proven that it cannot happen. She states that she is done with her relationship.
This isn't just a family falling out, it's a full shutdown. She's done. She wants the courts involved, and she's asking for permanent distance. When a daughter says no contact, ever, that's not said lightly. Can you really rebuild after that?
Relationship with the defendant. The defendant has not changed. She wants no contact. She's currently working on making her restraining order permanent. She states that the defendant is not trying to get help. She states that she wants anger management, Alcoholics Anonymous, and Narcotics Anonymous treatment.
So there's drug issues and alcohol issues.
According to the complaining witness, Your Honor, yes. So we know about the situation.
Stop. Don't say anything. Just don't.
And so we know about the situation where he needs some of the items he has at his place. She says that she has them placed in bags. She says that she's either told the family to handle giving the items to the defendant, or she is okay if the defendant comes with officers while she's not present.
So she obviously lives at that house?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who, is it grandfather's house? Whose house?
I'm not sure.
I mean,
I'm told it's grandpa's house, his father's house.
I,
But he had actually moved in there to help out with his parents and, well, I told you, he strokes at both times. Judge.
yeah, but I can't, she's living there and, it's.
So I'm told that his daughter is a drug user, Judge, and that this happened late at night. In fact, even in the DIMS, it says that this alleged
I mean, I
assault.
can't really,
No, but it says alleged assault happened at 2:30, but we didn't call the police until 4, I believe. And she mentions a long gun, but there was no guns found at the scene.
I don't know. I just don't want you to, she doesn't want to have contact with you. So don't have contact with her. Don't use any drugs, don't use alcohol, and making that a condition of your bond as well.
It's
I don't know what to tell you, but she lives there. And if I allow you to go back to that house, it's a recipe for disaster.
Judge, he does live with his parents and does nowhere else to stay right now. He's been living at the Star Hope shelter for a week. In fact, they arrested him in his underclothes and he's wearing clothes given to him.
Well, I mean, like you said, he can go back and get the stuff. He's got to go with an officer. And at a time that she's not going to be there, I guess we could work that out.
His ID and cell phone, all that are at the house and they can't get that.
She has it in bags ready to give to him. You know what? Also do this. If you want to, we can roll this to tomorrow, but will you also reach out to, I guess, the homeowner and get their opinion? Are they okay with him coming back? Perhaps you can get their side as well and see what they say. So we get like a neutral and detached person to see, is this because he obviously wants to go back to the house? We know that she doesn't, but.
This is your warning siren moment. The judge is spelling it out. If you go back to that house and even accidentally bump into her, it's jail. No more chances. No one to post bond. You're stuck. Is that risk even worth it?
The problem is that if I let you go back to this house, you will invariably at one point or the other, you're going to run into her, and it's going to be disastrous because it always is, and then you're going to end up back in jail. You're out because we gave you a free bond right now. You need to understand that if you go back, you probably have no one in this world that's going to pony up 5,000 to 10,000 to get you out. you will be stuck like Chuck. You need to consider these things when you're out there. I'm not asking much from you. I just don't want you to have contact with this person. And don't have any weapons and don't use. That's all I'm asking. You want to roll this tomorrow to see if there is perhaps a way that they could kind of separate, kind of bifurcate the house, so to speak?
Again, is your father able to answer the call if they call and talk to him?
No,
Well, look, I don't want you guys to talk here. Let's do this. Let's roll it to tomorrow. See, do you mind reaching out? Is there a possible way to kind of divide the house in half where, or is there like a garage apartment or is there like a shed or something that he could stay at? I don't know, but
that's how I've been
So you're separate from her.
living. Yeah, I'm separate from all of them.
We can talk about, he's telling me that he's separate, living away from everybody, his own room, I guess.
I want to hear it from them too.
Sure.
I don't want to hear it just from you. I want to hear it from them that they feel protected. That's my
I
own
understand.
concern, you know?
I understand.
So we can, come back tomorrow because it's already 1 o'clock, right?
What time tomorrow?
Same time, early, 8, 9 o'clock. So,
We'll be here tomorrow.
so guys, this is Mr. O'Neill. So no contact, no weapons, no going to the house for the time being, no drugs, no alcohol, random testing, please. All right, Mr. O'Neill,
Testing.
no drugs, no alcohol, and I'm going to test you to make sure you're not using. If you test positive for drugs or alcohol, I'm going to put you in jail. Don't use. All right.
Damn.
Okay. All right. Good luck, Mr. O'Neill.
Thank you, Judge, my excuse.
Thank you. Your device has been dead.
So Judge, I don't think it was low and then it went dead for, I think, a couple of days, but he didn't receive. Well, I understand that, Judge, but he didn't receive, I guess the device supposed to send something.
You know when you're supposed to charge the device. You know.
I think it gives you a notice or something that is dying out. And so it didn't give him notice. So he went to pretrial service to have him check it out to find out what was going on with it. But he's been on bond for a very long period of time with no issues whatsoever.
That doesn't give you the justification to do what you're doing.
Judge, I will say that I've contacted the device people over at 49, whenever he reported yesterday, they stated that
He only reported yesterday.
yes, we observed.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Well, no, Judge, he reported because I told him that the device, that this was filed. That's the only reason why he reported over there.
The only reason he cared enough to go was because you told him he had to come to court. Otherwise, it would still be dead. It would still be non-functional.
I don't think that's the case, Judge, because it's been functional the entire time that he's had the device. So this is not he's been out for 2 months and the device has not been functioning. That's not it. This was just filed 2 days ago.
Because I wanted to take care of it now. And the reason is that he's on probation for a violation of protective order, picks up an assault of a pregnant person, and then picks up another assault of the same person. And he has another assault dismissed, and they're all the same person. And I told you that there was no tolerance in these cases. And I have here that you have a dead battery since 2/10 of, how long was the battery dead?
According to the viewer, I believe it started on the 10th, and then whenever he reported for.
Battery goes dead, bond goes dead. The judge isn't interested in excuses about charging cables and notifications. If you're on probation and your monitor dies for 2 days, that's called disappearing, and courts don't like that.
Yes, Judge, that's what I'm saying.
Reported for inspection, we found no issues with the device itself or the charger.
I'm revoking your bond. You go to jail. I'm sorry. Bond conditions, bond conditions. There's no justification, right? 3 open cases. I've repeatedly told you, no tolerance, and you're just doing whatever you want to do. You're not charging it. Goes dead. So does the bond.
Judge, it went dead on the 10th, and he immediately went in to go have it checked out because he
No, he
didn't know.
didn't. No, he didn't. 2 days later, because you said you got to come to court, it's probably a good idea for you to go get it checked out.
That's not how it happened, Judge.
Tell me.
When I got the email, I said, hey, there's an issue possibly with your device. He said, I got no notification whatsoever that it was dead. So I will go down there and check it out to see what's going on. I didn't tell him about a court date because I didn't know about the court date at the time. I got the motion first. Then your letter came after the fact. So he went on his own to have it checked out. So if you look at the records, I mean, he's been out for a while and this just happened. 2 days, that's it, Judge.
They tell you that you're supposed to charge this thing on a daily basis. They tell you that you need to put it by the charger every day for a specific amount of time. And if you don't, the battery goes dead.
Now,
So you know what you're supposed to do.
I understand that, Judge, but also if the court remembers that he is also keeping a newborn baby, so maybe he put it in.
That's,
He was tired. I mean, I don't know.
it's been dead for 2 days.
It's only been there for 1 day, I believe, Judge, because he went on the 11th, I believe. Today's the 14th.
No, she said yesterday he went. Today's the 14th. That's the
Today's
13th.
14th, I'm sorry, that was the 12th. I don't know why I thought it was the 13th.
So when did he go?
The 12th.
No, the battery goes dead on the 12th. When did he go to pretrial?
He went to pretrial on the 12th, Judge. His battery went dead on the 10th.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, battery goes dead on the 10th. Goes to pretrial on the 12th. So he's without a device 2 days. I'm sorry. Goes with you.